Well, what's up, guys? So, Thanksgiving can be a tough holiday if you're trying to do Whole30 or keto or a paleo diet. But I have some ideas for you to make it easier, some quick recipes that are delicious. Everybody's going to love them, and they're going to work with your diet. So, stick around. I'll go over a few ideas and recipes that I know you're going to love this Thanksgiving. So, who doesn't like starting a meal off with dessert? So, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about dessert first, which is the classic pumpkin pie. Now, I'm sorry if you're doing keto, this isn't going to really work for you. But if you're Whole30, I have a recipe for you. If you're paleo, I have a recipe for you. Um, Dessert recipes can be tricky on Whole30 because you're not supposed to use any kind of honey or maple syrup or any sweeteners like that we allow with paleo, but not with Whole30. Um, but I got a recipe that will work for you on Whole30. It's I just tried it last week. It turned out great. Um, and instead of using any kind of artificial sweeteners or anything like that, all we're gonna do is use a super ripe banana. So here's the plan for the Whole30 Paleo Pumpkin Pie. For your crust, you go out and you get some dates and almond flour. So about a cup and a half of almond flour, maybe five or so dates. Pulse those in the food processor till you can get a nice sort of consistent crust that you can press against the pie shell, and it just kind of will stick in there. Maybe a tablespoon of coconut oil as well. All you want to do is be able to just sort of you just press down, and make sure it's the consistency that when you press it, it all sticks together and doesn't fall apart. And so if you're not getting that consistency, just go ahead and toss another date in there until you get that consistency. And then for the filling itself, you want 1 can of pumpkin, 2 super ripe bananas, and 1 egg, and just throw that in the food processor. Mix it all together. Then you pour it into your pie crust and bake until it's set, which for me and my oven was maybe 20 minutes or so. Just keep an eye on it. It's just like a cheesecake sort of. So when you jiggle it, it might jiggle a little bit because of the heat, but as it cools down, it will thicken up. I thought it was great. You might also put it like just a dash of um, vanilla extract in there as well. And if you're not doing the Whole30, feel free to drop maybe a tablespoon or two of maple syrup in there as well. That it might please a few more people in the crowd. To me, the sweetness level was fine. My kids didn't really appreciate the sweetness level, but hey, more for me. So we'll move on now next to stuffing. Another classic favorite dish on Thanksgiving. It's tough when you're doing paleo or keto or Whole30. Why do I want to keep saying kilo? um, so what are you gonna do when you can't have bread, right? Um, Here's a favorite recipe of mine: chestnut stuffing. So the base on this is gonna be chestnuts. If you're doing keto, um, chestnuts are actually pretty carb heavy. So what you can do is just use a variety of other nuts. You can use walnuts would work actually really well in this. That's what I go with is use a bunch of walnuts, maybe mix in a few almonds. Do like a variety of nut, but my favorite is to roast walnuts. So roast about 20 or so walnuts. Get a pound of ground pork. Um, the key ingredients in a good stuffing are the celery and the sage. So That's why we don't need bread. The bread is not the key ingredient in stuffing. The key ingredient is celery and sage. So what you want to do is brown off your pound of ground pork or sausage. If you get sausage, you might have some sugar or something mixed in there. So I just get the ground pork, season it. I'll put a little bit of fennel in there, a little garlic powder, salt, a little bit of mustard seed, and kind of make my own. Maybe a little bit paprika. Make my own sort of sausage seasoning mix. So definitely comment down below if you need help with that. I'll try to find a good. Actually, look in the description. I'll find a good little sausage seasoning recipe to share with you guys. I just always kind of wing it, but if you're kind of not as confident, I'll get something there for you. So go ahead and brown off your sausage slash ground pork with your chop up like 3 or 4 stalks of celery. Throw those in there. What else do we have? Then, an onion, garlic, obviously tons of garlic in there. Whatever I say, double it. That's the rule. So I'll just go ahead and say I would throw maybe at least 4 big heads in there. You're going to double that because I don't know anybody who doesn't see amount of garlic and just go ahead and double it automatically. So it doesn't really matter what I say. Just make sure you get the garlic in there. So you have your browned off sausage. You're going to cook off your walnuts ahead of time. Oh, right. And also apple. Even if you're keto, you can still throw a whole apple in there. A little bit of apple on keto isn't going to knock you out of ketosis. So skin the apple, core it, chop it up, mix that in there with first you brown off your sausage, then celery and apple and onion, get that all going in there. Then at the very end, you add your nuts, which is going to be chestnuts in this case. You could also add walnut as well. And then that's it, really. And then at the very end, right before you serve it, chop up a bunch of fresh sage and put that on top and mix it all in there together. Killer stuffing. So those are my 2 ideas to help you this coming holiday season. I hope you like them. If you need any help with the recipes, I'm not going to do any cooking demonstrations today, but if you do need any help, please just let me know in the comments. I am here to help you. I'll answer any questions you do have. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. And do let me know if you have any other good ideas for this Thanksgiving for keto or Whole30 or paleo. And let me know if you have questions. Thank you again so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day.